You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Sunday, August the 16th, 2020. The Athletics and Red Sox played each other, and the Red Sox won this game 11-6 was the final score. The Athletics scored the majority of their runs toward the later part of the game. They got 4 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th, and 1 in the 9th. The issue for them was that the Red Sox were scoring earlier than that. The Red Sox got their first 2 runs in the 2nd. They also broke out with 2 3-run innings, 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 6th, with some one spots sprinkled throughout the game, and they ended up winning this one by 5. Martin Perez got the win, and Mike Fiers got the loss. The Orioles and Rays played each other. Final score of this game, 3-0. The Rays won this AL East matchup. The Rays scored all of their runs by the end of the 4th inning. They got 1 in the 2nd and 2 in the 4th. The Orioles got 4 hits, but unlike the Rays, they failed to score at all. Charlie Morton got the win. Alex Cobb got the loss against one of his former teams, and Jose Alvarado now with 7 saves on the season. The Cubs and Blue Jays played each other in an interleague matchup, and the Blue Jays won this game. 2-1 was the final score. It's pretty even. Each team had 6 hits. The Blue Jays had 2 errors compared to the Cubs not committing any, but the Blue Jays still won this game. The Cubs scored first in the 1st inning, but then the Blue Jays tied the game in the 4th, took the lead in the 5th, and there was no offensive run production after that, so the Blue Jays ended up winning. Trent Thornton got the win. He's evened out to 8-8 now in the year. Jarrell Cotton earned his 2nd loss of the year, and Ken Giles now at 33 saves. The Rangers and Tigers played each other. 9-8 was the final score of this game. Close one, and the Tigers were making a comeback in the bottom of the 9th inning. They made it a 9-8 game with those 2 runs. But since the Rangers scored 3 in the top of the 8th inning, for some insurance, the insurance actually did matter because the Tigers did score in the bottom of the 9th, but since the Rangers scored those 3 runs at the top of the 8th, the Tigers could not tie the game or take the lead, and the Tigers ended up losing. Nick Goody got the win, Ivan Nova got the loss, and Jose Leclerc now has 27 saves on the season. The Mariners and Indians played each other, and the Indians won this game. It was close, 5-4 is the final. The Indians had a pretty secure lead early on. It was 5-1 going into the top of the 8th, but the Mariners proceeded to score 3 in the top of the 8th inning to make it a 1-run game, but that's where their offense stopped. They didn't score any more in the 8th or any in the 9th, so the 5 runs the Indians scored in total ended up holding up, and the Indians won. Though the Mariners did have more hits than the Indians in this game as well, 9 hits to 8. Shane Bieber got the win, his 10th of the year. Taijuan Walker got the loss, and Brad Hand now has 37 saves on the year. The Yankees got beat by the White Sox in this game, 9-4 is the final score. There was a hefty amount of offense in this one. The White Sox had 15 hits and the Yankees had 10. And between the 2 teams, there were 13 runs scored. But the White Sox had more bulk in their offense when they scored in innings. They didn't score less than 2 runs in any given inning. They got 2 in the 2nd, 4 in the 4th, and 3 in the 6th inning. Meanwhile, the Yankees, when they scored, they only put up 1 run in each inning that they did score, and they fell short by 5. Gio Gonzalez got the win, and Jordan Montgomery got the loss. The Royals and Twins played each other in an AL Central matchup, the Royals being the last place team in the AL Central, also with the worst record in Major League Baseball, and the Twins having the best record in Major League Baseball. But the Royals, with the worst record, ended up winning this game, and by a pretty significant amount, 6 runs. Mike Montgomery got the win, and Rich Hill got the loss. He's evened out to 5-5 now in the year. The Astros and Angels played each other in an AL West matchup. Final score of this game, 11-5. The Angels ended up winning. It was close early on, and the Astros had a 3-2 lead going into the 4th, but then the Angels broke out with some offense. They got 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th, and they followed that up with 2 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th inning, which gave them all of their 11 runs. And while the Astros did score 2 late, they still fell short by a pretty large margin, 6 to be exact. Dylan Bundy got the win, his 10th of the year, and Jose Urquidy got the loss. The Marlins and Braves played each other in an NL East matchup. Final score of this game, 3-1. The Marlins came out on top, stopping a Braves team that has been very hot most recently. The Marlins got all 3 of their runs in the 3rd inning, and the only time the Braves could score was in the 6th. They scored 1 run, and that was pretty much the summary of the offense in this game. Sandy Alcantara got the win, Sean Newcomb got the loss, and Brandon Kinsler now has 33 saves on the year. The Pirates and Reds played each other in an NL Central matchup, and the Reds won this game. 6-3 was the final score. The Reds only needed the runs that they got in the 4th inning. They got 4 in the 4th inning, so they already had more than the Pirates scored in the entire game after that, but they put up 2 in the 6th for some insurance, and they ended up winning by 3. Luis Castillo got the win. Derek Holland, now 0-7 on the year. He got the loss in this one. Still yet to win a game on the mound. And Raisel Iglesias now at 23 saves. The Phillies and Mets played each other. This is another NL East matchup. Final score of this game 3-2. The Mets came out on top of this one. The Mets scored first right in the first inning, and the Phillies took the lead in the top of the fourth. That made it a 2-1 game, and it was a 2-1 game for about 4 innings until the Mets in the bottom of the 8th scored 2 to take the lead, a lead which they held on to in the top of the 9th, and they won. Seth Lugo got the win, Adam Morgan got the loss, and Edwin Diaz locked down the save. He now has 33 on the season. The Nationals shut out the Padres 3-0. That was the final score of this game. The Nationals got 1 run in the second inning. They had a 1-run lead for the majority of the game, but in the bottom of the 8th inning, they tacked on some insurance, 2 runs, making it a 3-0 game, a deficit the Padres could not come back from. They didn't score any in the top of the 9th, and the Padres not only lost, but they got shut out. Patrick Corbin got the win, Denelson Lamet got the loss, and Sean Doolittle's at 32 saves now on the season. Brewers and Cardinals played each other in an NL Central matchup. Final score of this game, 8-3. The Cardinals came out on top. While the Brewers struck first in this game, the Cardinals broke out with a 4-run bottom of the 3rd inning. They also tacked on 1 run in the 4th and then 3 in the 7th, so they had 8 total, and they ended up beating the Brewers by 5. John Gant got the win out of the bullpen. Eric Lauer got the loss. The Diamondbacks and Dodgers played each other in an NL West matchup. Final score of this game, 3-2. The Dodgers ended up winning. The separation of this game was in the bottom of the 6th when the Dodgers scored 2, which was important because then the Diamondbacks tied the game up in the top of the 7th inning. But that allowed the Dodgers to have the opportunity to walk off the game. It was tied at 2 in the bottom of the 9th. The Dodgers did walk it off, and they ended up winning. Adam Kolarek got the win, his first of the year out of the bullpen, and Archie Bradley got the loss. And the Rockies and Giants played each other. This is another NL West matchup. Final score of this game, 5-1. The Giants continue to stay cold, and the Rockies have been doing well recently. It was a close game up until the 7th inning when the Rockies took the lead with 1 run. Still a close game technically, but in the 8th inning, the Rockies struck for 4 runs, which put the Giants down by 5, and they responded with a run in the bottom of the 8th inning, but still wasn't enough to make a comeback. They didn't score any in the 9th inning, and they ended up losing by 4. Ben Bowden got the win, and Garcia got the loss. Let's take a look at standings now. Starting in the American League East, the New York Yankees are leading with a 74-50 record, but they've lost 3 in a row, and they've lost 8 of their last 10. They've been cold recently. The Blue Jays have caught up slightly, though they're still a significant amount of games back. They're 68-58 overall, 7 games back, but they've won 6 of their last 10. The Rays are on a 3-game winning streak. They've won 7 of their last 10, and they're getting back into the race, if not for the division, definitely for the wild card. But they're 65-59 overall, and they're 9 games back at first. The Red Sox are 62-63, 12.5 games back at first. They won today against the Athletics. And the Orioles lost to the Rays today. The Orioles are now on a 5-game losing streak. They've lost 7 of their last 10. They're 47-76 overall. They're 26.5 games back at first, and their division elimination number is 13. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins still lead. They lost today, but they still have the best record in Major League Baseball, 86-41. The White Sox, 71-53. They've won 3 games in a row. They're 13.5 games back at first. The Indians are on a 6-game winning streak. They've won 7 of their last 10. They're 68-55 overall, and they're 16 games back at first. And the Tigers are 55-70. They got their 70th loss today. They're 30 games back in first place, and their division elimination number is 7. In the American League West, the Oakland Athletics are 74-50. They still lead the division. They lost today, as did the Astros, so the Astros don't gain any ground. The Astros are 69-55 overall, 5 games back of the A's. The Angels, 57-69, 18 games back. Their division elimination number is 20. The Rangers are 52-72, 22 games back at first. Their division elimination number is 17. And the Mariners are 50-75. They've lost 4 games in a row. They're 24.5 games back at first, and their division elimination number is 14. Near the wild card standings in the American League, the White Sox have the top spot right now. They've won 3 in a row, so they've gained some ground on the Astros, who lost today. So the Astros lost a game on the White Sox. 69-55 is their overall record, and that's allowed the Indians to catch up. The Indians have been hot recently. They've won 6 games in a row. They're 68-55, just a half game back of that second wild card spot. The Blue Jays still hanging around as well. They're 68-58 overall, 2 games back of the second wild card spot. The Rays have won 3 in a row and 7 of their last 10. They're 65-59 overall. They're 4 games back in that second wildcard spot. And the Red Sox hanging around as well. They have a winning percentage under 500, but they're 7.5 games back of that second wild card spot, and they've been doing decently in recent games. Every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 13 games back of that second wild card spot, and these bottom three teams have division elimination numbers that are getting low. The Mariners have a division elimination number of, not division elimination numbers, wild card elimination numbers, and overall playoff elimination numbers, but the Mariners 19, the Orioles 18, and the Royals 13. In the National League East, the Atlanta Braves are 72 and 53 overall. They still lead the division, and their winning streak got snapped today. They've now lost one most recently, but they've still won 8 of their last 10. The Nationals gain a game on the Braves, since the Braves lost today and the Nationals won. The Nationals are now 2 games back at first place with a 70 and 55 overall record. The Marlins won today. They're 66 and 59 overall, 6 games back of first. The Phillies lost to the Mets today. They're 62 and 63 overall, 10 games back of first. And the Mets are 54 and 70. They are 17 and a half games back of first place, and they beat the Phillies today. In the National League Central, the St. Louis Cardinals lead with a 72 and 53 overall record. They've been leading this division for the longest time. The Cubs still in second, 5.5 games back of the Cards with a 66 and 58 overall record. The Brewers continue to struggle. They're 56 and 67. They are 15 games back of first. The Reds are 51 and 73. They're 20 and a half games back of first. They beat the Pirates today. Their division elimination number is 18. And the Pirates lost to the Reds today. They're 55 and 80 overall, now 27 games back of first, and their division elimination number is 11. In the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers are 83 and 43. They still lead the division. They still have the second best record in Major League Baseball, and they're on a 3-game winning streak. The Padres lost today. They're 65 and 60 overall, 17 and a half games back of first place, and their division elimination number is 20. The Diamondbacks are 64 and 61. They're 18 and a half games back at first, and their division elimination number is 19. The Rockies are on a 3-game winning streak. They're 56 and 69 overall, 26 and a half games back at first. Their division elimination number is 11. And the Giants are on a 3-game losing streak. They're 46 and 78 overall, 36 games back at first, and their division elimination number is 2. And here are the wildcard standings in the National League. The Nationals have the top spot with a 70 and 55 record. The Cubs 66 and 58 overall, the next best wildcard team. Then you have the Marlins, who are a half game out with a 66 and 59 overall record. The Padres close as well, 65 and 60 overall, 1.5 games back. The Diamondbacks still in contention. They're 64 and 61, 2.5 games back, so they've lost 3 in a row. The Phillies lost today. They're 62 and 63, below 500, but still relatively close, 4.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. And every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 9.5 games back of that second wildcard spot, and the bottom 2 teams are on the brink of elimination from playoffs. The Giants are 46 and 78. Their playoff elimination number is 19, and the Pirates are 45 and 80. Their playoff elimination number is 17. And let's take a look at league leaders, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. JD Martinez back on top with a 341. Miguel Cabrera's fallen to second. He's at a 339 average, and Miguel Andujar third best with a 327. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with a 348. Nolan Arenado, the next best, with a 336. And Paul Goldschmidt has made his way back into the top 3. He's at a 333 average. Hits leaders in the American League, JD Martinez has the most with 172. Miguel Andujar the next most with 166. And Miguel Cabrera third best with 162. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 168. Ronald Acuna Jr. the next best with 160. And Nolan Arenado third best with 155. Bat leaders in the American League, Miguel Andujar right now is the most with 508. And in the National League, Jonathan Villar has the most with 524. Doubles leaders in the American League, Anthony Rendon at 41. Jose Abreu the next best with 40. And Miguel Andujar third most with 38. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 49. Christian Yelich the next best with 38. And Ronald Acuna Jr. third best with 36. Triples leaders in the American League, Adalberto Mondesi still has the most. He's at 8. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. behind him by 1 with 7. Adam Eaton, Oscar Mercado, Jose Altuve, and Byron Buxton all tied for third best. They're all at 6. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 13. Victor Robles and Andrew McCutchen tied for the next best. They're both at 8. Home run leaders in the American League, Justin Upton at 42 homers. He still leads the AL. Yohan Moncada and Chris Davis, the next 2 on the list. They're both tied at 35. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. at 44 home runs. Paul Goldschmidt, 3 behind him with 41. And Eugenio Suarez, third best with 36. RBI leaders in the American League, Chris Davis at 100. 2 behind him, Nelson Cruz, who has 98. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Mitch Moreland tied with the third most. They're both at 36. 96. My apologies, 96. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt leads with 106. Eugenio Suarez, the next best with 98. And Ronald Acuna Jr. rounds up the top 3 with 93. Run scored leaders in the American League, Rafael Devers and JD Martinez each tied with 93. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has the most with 102. Stolen base leaders in the American League, Malik Smith has the most with 32. Adalberto Mondesi the next most with 27. And D. Gordon third most with 25. In the National League, Starling Marte has 40. Trey Turner, 1 behind him with 39. And Jonathan Villar rounds up the top 3 with 33. Walks leaders in the American League, Rhys Hoskins and Shin-Soo Choo tied for the top. They're both at 77. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt leads with 88. On-base percentage leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera at a 420. JD Martinez the next best with a 409. And Josh Donaldson third best with a 407. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt leads with a 444. Christian Yelich the next best with a 431. Ronald Acuna Jr. slightly lower than Yelich's, but also at a 431. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Justin Upton has a 636. Yohan Moncada the next best with a 627. And JD Martinez third best with a 613. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with a 739. Paul Goldschmidt the next best with a 680. And Christian Yelich third best with a 653. On-base percentage plus slugging percentage leaders in the American League. Justin Upton, the leader with a 1.022 OPS. JD Martinez slightly lower than his, but he's also at a 1.022. And Yohan Moncada third best with a 1.010. And in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with a 1.170. Paul Goldschmidt behind him with a 1.124. And Christian Yelich is at a 1.084. Moving on to pitcher leaderboards, starting with wins leaders in the American League. Lucas Giolito has the most with 14. Hyunjin Ryu, Jose Barrios, Jake Odorizzi, and Jordan Montgomery all tied for second best with 13. In the National League, Walker Buehler leads with 16. Steven Strasburg, 3 behind him with 13. Mike Fultonevich, Jimmy Nelson, Yu Darvish, and Madison Bumgarner tied for third best. They're all at 12. Losses leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda, Chris Bassett, and Sean Manaea all have the least amount among pitchers that qualify. They're all at 2. And in the National League, Walker Buehler has the least amount among pitchers that qualify. He is also at 2. Saves leaders in the American League, Liam Hendriks has the most with 38. Brad Hand and Roberto Ozuna each tied for second best. They're both at 37. In the National League, Will Smith and Kenley Jansen top the leaderboard with 41 saves. Kirby Yates and Giovanni Gallegos tied for third best. They're both at 40. ERA leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda has the lowest at a 2.57, Sean Manaea the next lowest at a 2.69, and Masahiro Tanaka third lowest at a 2.86. In the National League, Walker Buehler still under 2, he's at a 1.91. Marcus Stroman and Carlos Martinez have the same exact earned run average, and that ties them both for the second lowest ERA on this leaderboard. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers, Kenta Maeda is allowed the least amount among pitchers to qualify, he's allowed 9. And in the National League, Carlos Martinez has allowed the least amount among pitchers to qualify. He's also allowed 9. Shutout leaders in the American League, Masahiro Tanaka has thrown the most, 5. Garrett Cole the next most, 3. Sean Manaea, Jake Odorizzi, and Jose Barrios tied with the third most. They're all at 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has thrown 5 complete game shutouts. Zach Wheeler has thrown 3. Pablo Lopez, Aaron Nola, Sandy Alcantara, Merrill Kelly, Walker Buehler, and Clayton Kershaw have all thrown 2. They're all tied for the third best spot on the leaderboard. Strikeout leaders in the American League, Garrett Cole, 1 away from 200. He's at 199. 9 behind him, Lucas Giolito, who's at 190. And Jake Odorizzi rounds up the top 3 with 177. In the National League, Steven Strasburg has 206. He leads all of Major League Baseball at this point. Clayton Kershaw, second best in the league with 186. And Max Scherzer, third best with 183. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers, Masahiro Tanaka has thrown 5. Garrett Cole's thrown 3. Corey Kluber, Sean Manaea, Jake Odorizzi, Jose Barrios, and Aaron Savali have all thrown 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom's thrown 5, Zach Wheeler's thrown 4, and Aaron Nola has thrown 3. Innings pitched leaders in the American League, Hyunjin Ryu has 174 even, and in the National League, Clayton Kershaw has thrown 173 even. Walks allowed among American League pitchers, the leaders, Carlos Carrasco's allowed the least amount with 30. In the National League, Brett Anderson's allowed the least amount with 31. Whip leaders in the American League, Sean Manaea has the lowest at a 102. Ivan Nova, the second lowest at a 110. And Yenjin Ryu, third lowest at a 110 as well, slightly higher than Nova's. In the National League, Pablo Lopez has the lowest at a 107. Actually, the top three have a 107. They're differentiated slightly by some insignificant figures you can't see. But Lopez with the lowest, Jacob deGrom with the second lowest, and Clayton Kershaw as the third lowest. Pitching world leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has a 401. He's at the top. Masahiro Tanaka is slightly lower than Odorizzi's, but he's also at a 401, second best on the leaderboard. And Kenta Maeda, third best with a 3.6. In the National League, Walker Buehler leads with a 4.4. Jacob deGrom, the next best with a 4.3. And Clayton Kershaw, third best with a 3.8. Batting world leaders in the American League, Yohan Moncada is up to a 7. Yasmani Grandal at a 6.5, as is DJ LeMahieu. They're second and third on the leaderboard. And in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. is at an 8.2. The next best, Marcus Semien, who's at a 7.9. And Paul Goldschmidt rounds out the top three with a 7.3. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Sunday, August the 16th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's Virtual Network.